Welcome back. It's Friday and I am all packed up and ready to start the long, exhausting 10-hour drive to head to the investment property. Today I do have my driving companion, my little dog. She is packed back there. My husband's going to be out of town for a couple days, so she's coming with me. I usually leave her behind at home just because it's a long drive for her, but we'll make plenty of pit stops. I have that little cabinet all wrapped up and stored tightly back there. So the only way to get there and get started is to get this drive over with. So let's get started. Ugh. Hey, Al.
You want French fry?
We have to share. I officially made it back to the house and everything is looking great. Let's do a little tour of what my parents have achieved while I was gone. They got all that dark paneling primed, so it's a lot brighter in here. Some of the doors have been primed. There still needs to be a lot of painting done, but it's already looking so different, so much more open, obviously a lot brighter. This dining room and hallway are looking great. Of course, nothing's changed in the kitchen. That's something that we're gonna be working on this week. I did get this light installed yesterday. We did a little bit yesterday. Something a little different. It's technically a picture frame light, but I thought it would be a really cool feature over this window because we're not necessarily needing it for light. It's more so kind of a decorative ambiance light kind of thing. Probably the biggest changes are in this bathroom. They got all of the tiling done on the floor. And yesterday we worked to get that vanity installed that I built last week and installed a toilet. All of the shower fixtures are in and everything is functional in here. So we have a working faucet, we have a working toilet, and not that we're showering here, but we have a working shower. So that means they were able to start the demo on the other bathroom. And lastly, and probably the biggest change, is this bathroom did get completely gutted. This is the primary suite bathroom. If you remember, it had a big custom built vanity that was not, it was a little weird, a little strange. Right in this corner, there's some creative paneling behind this wall. There was a shower that was really dirty and I'm not sure how functional it was. Of course, a toilet, and all of this tile floor got ripped out as well. It's back to a dusty, dirty mess, but it has to get taken down before it can be built back up. Just like in the kitchen, there are definitely areas of the subfloor that will be completely replaced. Again, the usual suspects, like under the shower and possibly near the sink a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of sheetrock work to do in here. The ceilings have been scraped of the popcorn, and we're considering sheetrocking this entire back wall instead of trying to patch back together the paneling. It'll just be the easiest solution and look nice and fresh and clean for the new vanity and shower that we put in place. Yesterday, my mom was able to get these pieces of baseboard primed and one coat of paint on them. Like I mentioned before, we like to make sure to recycle and reuse different things as long as they're in great condition and basically an upgrade. They were able to salvage this solid wood baseboard from another property. We have plenty of it, and it's a really pretty profile. It is bigger than the initial baseboard that was in here, and I think it'll be a really pretty addition to this house. Since that bathroom has already been fully tiled, we can go ahead and put the baseboard in that bathroom. So that's what some of this is for. For the last couple of days, we've been taking care of some little projects here and there, like some paint touch-ups, things like that. But I'm eager to get back to this kitchen. I'm gonna start by building the drawer boxes. I have all of my measurements. I went around and measured what I think each drawer box is gonna need width-wise. And each drawer cavity is about 5.5 inches. So my drawer face is gonna be about 5.5. So I want my drawer box to be a little bit smaller than that. I think I'm gonna take it to 4.5. So I'm gonna rip each one of my strips of plywood to 4.5 inches wide, and then I can cut my different lengths that I need. I do wanna take a tally of how many rough pieces, different lengths and stuff like that I'm gonna need. So for example, this trash can cabinet is 26.5. I have my side pieces butt up against it, so that's minus 1.5 inches. So that would be 25. And then I have to take an additional inch off for the drawer tracks. So that'd be 24 inches. So 24 inches, and I'm gonna need 2 of those. So 22.5, that would be 21 inches minus an additional inch, so 20 inches. Need 2 of those, and so on and so forth. For the doors and drawer fronts, I am going to do a similar style to what I did for the bathroom vanity. I am going to take a thinner but slightly wider piece of board and fully trim this out. I've already cut them down to the proper size, so I'm just going to glue and nail these on. I'm finishing up with some coved trim along the top edge of those cabinets just to hide any gaps along the ceiling. And it's a bit of a head scratcher. If you've ever done that kind of stuff before, or crown molding, anything like that, you know. It takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of finesse, but I'm almost done reaching the end point, so hopefully I can finish everything out without too much more trouble. With all the lower cabinets all built and the drawer faces and doors all constructed, I can begin the process of staining. Before I stain, I wanted to give everything a finish sand one last time. Even though it's all already been sanded once, it doesn't hurt to give it one final, very high grit sanding. Once that's all done, I did pick up this Early American oil-based stain by Varathane and applied a liberal coat on all the areas that I want to be stained, both the front and the back of the doors and the drawer faces, as well as the body of the cabinets. I paid close and careful attention to the sides of the cabinet boxes that are going to be visible. That means this side of the trash can, which will be seen from the dining room, and I will even stain the inside where the dishwasher and the stove and the fridge are all going to go. It's such a pet peeve of mine when people do not finish out the inside of those areas. Yes, 99% of the surface will not be seen, but it just looks so unfinished in my opinion when you go to pull a stove out, pull a fridge out, pull a dishwasher, and it's just raw cabinet back there. It doesn't only look good, it also helps to protect the actual materials that the cabinet is built from because I will be sealing all of this after I stain it. I don't have to be too careful about how messy this is on the floor. Even a little bit on the wall did splatter. All of that can either be touched up with more paint or the actual floor is going to be floored over, so it does not matter. The last area that I did want to stain was the inside of these two really large upper cabinets. Like I've mentioned before, the plan is to put glass inside of these, and I want something nice and pretty and visually interesting to look at through the glass, and it's just going to be very cohesive if you see the same matching stain color that's on the bottom of the cabinets. Finally, because I am doing inset cabinet doors and drawers, I do want to take that stain color in just about 2 inches on the interior of these cabinets because you will see a little bit of that edge peek through, and I want it to look as clean as possible. Once I had all of that stain completely finished, it's time to start top coating and actually sealing that stain in for protection. I started out with just a clear top coat, no tint, nothing like that. I just want to seal up and create almost a slicker surface so that when I do go in with my tinted top coat, it sprays and brushes on as evenly as possible. That goes not only for the doors and drawer faces, but for all those stained sides and cabinet faces. I did opt to brush on this top coat on the interior pieces. That way I don't have to try to tape and plastic off the entire kitchen just to do this. This top coat does brush pretty well, so I'm not too worried about any sort of streakiness or brush strokes. When it was all dried down, you really could not see it. With that first coat of clear top coat all down and dry, that's when I can go in with my tinted top coat. I did do a test piece a couple of days ago just to make sure that this product could be brushed. I've only ever sprayed it. It's the same process that you've seen me do time and time again. It's just a water-based dark brown paint, maybe a couple of tablespoons mixed in with a large quantity of just my satin clear top coat. I find that this evens out the tone of the different stained wood. If there are any blemishes or any areas that I did have to fill with a wood fill, it tends to just even everything out and make those areas disappear. And because I'm adding several layers of this tinted top coat over my clear top coat, I'm adding probably 3 to 4 coats of actual top coat, which will just help with that durability, that wipeability, and make these kitchen cabinets as durable as possible. With that all done, I can go ahead and attach my drawer faces to the actual drawer boxes themselves. To do this, I did opt for some wood glue and some brad nails through the back of the cabinet box. This really held things in very tightly. Another week done and in the books. We made some good progress this week. The kitchen cabinets are starting to really come together and starting to show their final look. I was able to get all of those doors, drawer boxes, and drawer faces built. Stain on the lowers, stain on the inside of the uppers, and everything has been top coated and sealed that is stained. I still have a couple more doors to build for the uppers. It's a slow process, but it's so worth it in the end. My mom has been busy painting trim and doing a lot of touch-up painting. It's very slow going doing stuff like that because you have to be so precise, and she's really, really good at freehanding that kind of stuff. My dad has basically ripped apart that entire bathroom, and it's actually re-sheetrocked and coming together. It's starting to take form, and before long we'll be able to get a shower, the vanities, and a toilet back in there, and it'll start looking like a restroom again. That means next time is going to be a continuation of the kitchen cabinets. I still am not done there. There's still so much to do. Probably consider what we're going to do for the countertop, that kind of stuff. I can start to source and get ideas for a backsplash. Once all those things go in the kitchen, it's really going to start to look really pretty and custom. We're also going to be continuing on that bathroom. Once my dad's on a roll with stuff like that, it gets done pretty quickly. So follow along next time to see what we can achieve. We're pushing to work really hard and get this done as quickly as possible while still doing things the proper way and not cutting any corners whatsoever. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you.